first, just quickly, Freddie Freeman update, what you got?
He was going to play, and then Freddie's not going to play. Freddie's out today. Went through a workout, and we just felt that another day would be most beneficial.
He didn't think so, though, right?
He definitely didn't think so, because it's one of those things. He is playable, but the potential downside of playing, I don't think anyone knows. But to take an extra day with the off day tomorrow just made the most sense.
How vigorously do you have to talk him out of it in a case like that?
Pretty much, a lot. We got to be firm and convicted because, why he hasn't been on the IL since 2017, why he plays every day. Because in his mind, if he can play, he should play. It's his job as an employee. But then when you look at it from our side of things, it's more of, yes, that is true, but what potential downside could we take on? And it's not worth it at this point in time in the season.
How much consideration was it if he aggravates that thing and you get a 5-hour flight tomorrow? That kind of.
That was part of our conversation, absolutely.
Dave, what's it like? Everything's going so well. The record is perfect. You have a team that on paper is unlike any team most of us have ever seen. You're favored to win basically every game you play. What's it like right now being in the top of the world in baseball?
We knew going in we were talented. You never know how the season's going to play out until you start playing games. I actually like it in the sense that no one is too high right now. I think that, the pitching has been very good. The defense has been solid. But up and down our lineup, there's only a couple guys that really swing the bats the way they're capable of. And outside of that, guys are sort of just kind of trying to find their way, and we're getting big hits. So I think that, to be fair, I think that guys are really trying to think about how they can get better right now, which is a pretty scary thought for the rest of the league.
Dave, other than winning games, which is why we're here every night, this start as the defending champ, does this mean anything to you?
It does. It absolutely does. Case in point is we can sit Freddie because these games, we're playing good baseball, winning baseball games, and it allows for us to manage guys in the pen for down the road. And obviously getting off to a good start is important in the sense of it just gives your team a little bit of momentum, to start the season.
And how have you been able to get in this team's head about being the hunter, despite the fact that you are the defending champs and not the hunted?
I think it was, for me, it's easy to send a message, to give a message if that's what you believe. I've always felt like I've had a chip on my shoulder personally, and so I think that it's easy for me to try to find a way for our guys to feel that way too, and to be an aggressor and not be a victim or a target. And so I think that mindset was easy to kind of deliver, and it was very well received.
You guys had a deal today for Esteury Ruiz, and your initial thoughts on him?
You know what? I don't. I know he's a plus runner, really astute base runner, an outfielder. Mark Kotze, the manager, really liked him. Going back and forth by way of text with Kotz. But that's about it. Not sure where he's slated to go. And I just think that there's some things that our hitting guys felt there's some upside potential there.
And how have you seen Roki kind of handle mentally himself since the outing that he had?
I think that he's handling it well. I want him to continue to stay out there and stay visible. And he's not used to having some struggles. And I think that this is an opportunity for him to fight back, answer back. And he did that today because from what I heard, he had a great bullpen today, great bullpen session. And so he's, I appreciate the fact that he went back to work, and he'll be ready on Saturday.
Has Shohei counseled him at all?
That I don't know. I think for me, that's something where Shohei or Yamamoto, that needs to happen organically, and I'm not gonna I'll let that kind of handle itself.
He's had quite a reaction online after the vulnerability he showed that day. Going into Philly, they're not exactly a loving crowd there. Do you expect it could be a little rough for him, maybe?
I don't think so. They're hard on the visitors as well as the home team. No, I don't think so. I think he's going to handle himself fine. I really do.
Dave, this is your last game here before the road trip. So Monday you have the White House event. Your thoughts on deciding to attend? Were there any mixed emotions? Did you have to consider a number of things before deciding to take part in it?
Well, we all as an organization all decided that we were going to go, and so I'm in support of that. And it's more on the heels of acknowledging our 2024 championship team, and that's something that I'm proud of. And I'm going to be there with our players, coaches, ownership, front office, and we're looking forward to celebrating our championship team.
Have you heard those? Some people, obviously, we have divided society, obviously.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the people who just have given contrary views on attending?
I'm not going to go too deep into this, but we have a lot of different people that are part of this organization, different backgrounds, different cultures, race, gender, and so everyone has a different story, economic situations, and so we are all going as an organization. So that I do know is that we're all aligned, and everyone's going to have their opinions. And so again, this is not a political thing, and I'm not going to sit up here and make it political. I'm excited to again recognize the 2024 World Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Thanks.
After 7 games, you don't feel almost unbeatable?
I guess if you say that if every single night we take the field, do I feel like we're going to win? Yeah. So I know that the math says that we're not going to go 162-0, but each night we take the field, I feel like we're going to win. And so, whatever that means.
Dave, how is Michael Conforto fitting into his role within the team and in the lineup?
He's fitting in seamlessly. Man, what a good guy, good teammate. He's got some big hits for us. He takes good at bats, and so I look forward to him being in the lineup. So it's just been a great add for us.
What's been something that you've been surprised to learn about him since he's been with the team?
Nothing. I think that I dug on him a little bit with his former coaches, teammates. So he's pretty much what you see is what you get. Just a baseball rat, good guy, wants to play, wants to win, low maintenance, heady player. Yeah.
And the last question, what do you expect to see out of Blake Snell tonight?
I expect him to build off of what Tyler did, what Dustin did, and this is when you get a good starting staff, they start to compete with one another as well, and that's a good thing. And so I expect Blake to match those guys.
Getting back to Roki for a second, and maybe this was true of Yoshinobu last year as well, the difference between the baseball used here and the one used in Japan. Does that have any sort of effect on all of those guys?
I think that sure. I think that it probably does, but I just think that comparing, so it does, but I think that Yamamoto was years ahead of Roki in a lot of different aspects, and age being one, experience, innings, all that stuff. So to just compare those two, I think is unfair to Roki, in number one. And so there's just an adjustment period that there's not a person in this organization that didn't expect Roki's curve to be a little bit, longer, take a little bit longer than Yamamoto's.
So is everything touched on Freddie already, or are you expecting him Friday?
We'll see, Jack. He's not going to play tonight, and just knowing that we have the off day just kind of made the most sense, and we haven't decided that.
Is he going to be available tonight off the bench?
Sure.
Dave, what have you seen from Andy Paulus on the plate so far this season?
I think there's been there's been some passivity, really an intent to go to right field, and good quality at bats. But I think that just to be a little bit more aggressive, shifting the field a little bit more towards the center, the big part of the field, I think would be more beneficial. But I think the defense has been really good. I think the head is good. So I'm totally content with how he's going about things so far.
Last year, you hit lefties so well, and so far this year, you faced a couple really tough ones, including the
Correct. Thanks for saying that. Yeah, it's he's in a good place. He'll hit lefties. You're not going to make money on Sale and Scooble. So let's just kind of put those two aside and we'll go from there. So Andy's doing great. And I do think that he'll hit lefties and he'll hang in there versus righties.
Dave, obviously, ultimately, this team's going to be judged on what happens at the end. Are you surprised, though, at the beginning, the fact that there's been no letdown, the winning World Series, the great offseason, and now you've got 162 games, but it's just like they've just gotten off and running?
Not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all. I just think our guys prepare, play the right way every day. That's a character thing for me. If you have the talent and you lay eggs early, that's a character flaw. And I just think that winning games is hard, but for us to come out and play the way we have, I just think that we have a lot of smart and talented and high character ball players.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.